Hello, my name is Akil Shamsi and I'm one of the Uyghur refugees who lost everything under the threat of Chinese government. Here I testify that my parents and many of my siblings were arrested by the Chinese authorities in recent 2 years. In February 2017, my younger brother Hakimjan Shamsi was arrested and has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. I heard that he had been compelled to sign a false confession. His friends, Arafat Khalil, Abdul Abdreem, and others were also forced to do the same thing. 3 months later, my brother's wife Adila Mahmoud was detained for being the wife of my brother, and until now we don't know where she is confined. In October 2017, my elder brother Abdullah Shamsi was arrested because of reciting Quran at his own home. A lot of things became illegal overnight. We cannot talk to each other in public. We even cannot go to the nearest neighborhood freely without permission. In 2018, my parents and many of my siblings were arrested one by one. In January, my younger sister Janet Kilshamsi was arrested, whose husband Rahmatullah Kiram was arrested in March 2017. And until now, we don't know his whereabouts. And their 3 children, Zulaikha, Ibrahim, and Ilyas, were sent to orphanages. In February, my beloved mother, Rasalat Khanamlit, was arrested. They released my mother's dead body 3 months later. When I was informed that my mother was dead, I immediately returned to my hometown, Turkestan County. When I arrived my parents' home, there were 2 policemen who came to spy us. I was told secretly that there was a large bruise on my mother's chest, and the police forced my relatives to bury my mother's dead body immediately, long before my arrival, without holding a funeral. So I strongly suspect that my mother was tortured severely in jail until it caused her death, because my mother was so healthy and strong when she was at home. She has no other big diseases except diabetes. Then a couple of policemen came. They scrutinized my telephone and they checked my ID. Then Taushihad came and told me not to talk about anything of Uyghurs in Xinjiang when I go back to inland China. My father, Shamsi, was arrested immediately after my mother's arrestment, and he is still behind bars, and we don't know he is alive or not. In February 2018, my elder sister Nusrat Kilshamsi was arrested, whose husband was arrested in October 2017, and it's unclear their children are safe or not. I got all this information about when I visited my parents' home in May 2018. Here, I confirm that all my parents and my siblings and other relatives are all innocent. They didn't commit any crime against China. They used to be ordinary farmers and small businessmen. They were only arrested for one single reason: Uyghur identity. Every Uyghur all around the world is crying blood tears, no matter inside or outside of jail, because the Chinese government hurt us aggressively, physically and emotionally. I will not be satisfied even if the Chinese government released all of my relatives and other fellow Uyghurs. I strongly require that the Chinese authorities must pay the price for their fascist crackdown upon Uyghurs.